Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to today's interview. I am Shoaib and today I am going to have an interesting talk with an AI guest. Today we will talk about the topic the evolution of a quiet command. I will ask a series of questions and we will explore some interesting ideas and learn more about this topic. So let's get started with our first question.
Hey, what's up?
Hello, Miles. It's great to have you here. Are you ready for the interview?
Born ready. I'm locked in. What's the topic for today?
The topic is the evolution of a quiet command.
A quiet command. I dig that. It's like we're talking about the power of what's not said? Where do you want to dive in first?
My first question is can you please explain why people use a special sound when they want to others to be quiet?
You mean the classic sound? It's basically a universal cheat code. Think about it. It's a sharp, high frequency noise that cuts right through other sounds without needing actual words. It's like a biological alarm that tells your brain stop talking before you even process the language. Plus, it mimics a hiss, which in nature usually means danger or back off. So it hits a primal chord in us. You know what I'm saying?
My second question is where do people usually ask others to quiet and why is silence important in those places?
The usual suspects, right? Libraries, museums, hospitals, places where the whole vibe is about focus or respect. In a library, silence is basically the law because you're trying to dive deep into a book without some random conversation pulling you out of it. In a hospital, it's more about healing. People need peace to actually recover. It's it's almost like these places have an unwritten contract that says like leave the noise at the door so everyone can just exist in their own head for a bit. You think there are other spots where silence is a must, or maybe some places where it's just expected but not required?
My third question is why do people sometimes use a short sound instead of saying please to be quiet?
It's all about efficiency, honestly. Saying please be quiet takes a few seconds, and in those seconds, the noise is still happening. A short sound like shh is an instant kill switch. It's the difference between sending a long email and just hitting a buzzer. Plus, there's that social angle. A full sentence can sometimes feel like a lecture, but a quick sound is just a signal. It gets the job done without making it a whole thing. Does that make sense to you?
My fourth question is do you think the way people ask for silence has changed over time? If yes, how?
I think it totally has. Back in the day, silence was probably more about respect or survival. Now it's almost like a luxury with phones and notifications constantly buzzing in our pockets. We've gone from naturally having quiet moments to having to actively fight for them. Asking for silence now feels less like a social rule and more like a plea for a mental break. It's like we're evolving into a world where the quiet command isn't just for the room, it's for our own heads. Do you feel like it's harder to actually find real silence these days where
My fifth question is how do
I'm
people
listening?
ask others to be quiet in text message and on social media today?
Oh, that's where it gets interesting. Since you can't actually make a sound through a screen, it's all about the visuals. People use the shushing face emoji, or they'll just type in lowercase to keep it chill, or maybe all caps if they're actually annoyed. Sometimes it's even more subtle, like just setting a single period or a specific emoji to signal that the vibe needs to shift. It's basically a digital version of a side eye. Do you think those digital cues actually work as well as the real thing?
My sixth question is can the way we ask for silence change the meaning of show different feeling?
Absolutely. It's all delivery. Uh, a soft shh. can be almost comforting, like a parent putting a baby to sleep. But a sharp, loud shh, that's a different story. That's basically a verbal slap. Turns a request for quiet into a command, and suddenly the feeling shifts from let's be mindful to you're doing something wrong. Tone is everything. It's the difference between a gentle nudge and a shutdown. You ever noticed how you can tell exactly how annoyed someone is just by the length of that sound?
My seventh question is, do people in different countries use different sound or words when they want silence?
So let me check that. It's wild how something so simple can be totally different depending on where you are in the world. For example, in France, they use shut, which is a lot like our sh, but if you want to be blunt, they've got tais. Then you have Spanish where yao, cállate is the direct route, but no digas nada is way gentler. What's really dope is how the meaning of silence changes too. In some Asian and Nordic cultures, being quiet is a sign of respect or deep thought, whereas in the US, we tend to get all twitchy if a conversation goes silent for too long. It's like we're wired differently to handle the quiet. Do you think you're more of a silence is respect person or this silence is awkward person?
My eighth question is, can a sound used for silence also be used to show that something is secret?
100%. Uh, think about when someone leans in and gives you a quick shit before whispering a secret. In that moment, the sound isn't about being polite or following rules in a library. It's about creating a little bubble of privacy. It's basically the audio version of a keep out sign for everyone else in the room. It turns the silence into a shared secret between two people, which actually makes the information feel more valuable. You know what I'm saying? Do you usually prefer the secret sharing vibe, or do you find that kind of thing a bit too mysterious?
My ninth question is, how has social media changed the way people use simple sound and expressions?
It's turned into memes, honestly. Something that used to be a simple social cue now becomes a vibe or a trend. Take the shushing face emoji. It's not just asking for quiet anymore. It's often used to signal, I know something, you don't. Or to be playfully mysterious. We've basically taken these human sounds and turned them into digital shorthand. It strips away the tone and the physical presence and replaces it with this curated, almost performative version of communication. It's like we're speaking a new language where a single image does the work of a whole conversation. You think we're losing the real meaning of these expressions by turning them into emojis?
My tenth question is, why do you think simple sounds can be understood by many people around the world?
I think it's because they tap into something biological rather than cultural. Like, you don't need to learn a dictionary to understand a hiss or a sharp sound. Those are primal. They're built into our hardware. It's like a laugh or a scream. It's just a raw human signal that bypasses the brain's language center and goes straight to the gut. It's the ultimate universal language because it doesn't require a translation. It just requires a nervous system. You know what I'm saying? Was that the final question for the interview, or do you have more in the tank?
My 11th question is, do you think people will continue to use this sound in the future? Why or why not?
I'm betting on it. Even if we end up communicating with our minds or some high tech gadgetry, those primal sounds are hardwired into us. It's not just about the noise, it's about the immediate physical reaction it triggers in another person. As long as humans have instincts and a need for a quick stop button, it's going to be around. It's too efficient to replace. You think we'll eventually find something even faster, or is this the peak of quiet commands?
My last question is,
I'm locked in.
what is important lesson can we learn from the history of simple words that people use in our daily lives?
Um, I think the biggest takeaway is that the most powerful tools are often the simplest. It's wild that a single sound or a tiny gesture can cut through a room full of noise or bridge a gap between two people who don't even speak the same language. It shows that at our core, we're all wired for the same basic signals. It's a reminder that you don't need a complex manual or a long speech to connect with someone. Sometimes the most direct, raw communication is the most effective. Very cool way to wrap this up. How'd you feel the interview went?
Thank you so much for sharing your thought and information with us. I really enjoyed talking with you today, and I hope our audience also learned something new.
Anytime. I had a blast diving into this with you. It was a dope topic. Appreciate you having me on, and I'm glad we could get into the weeds on it together. Whenever you got another wild angle to explore, you know where to find me.
Thank you everyone for watching this interview. I hope you enjoy it. See you next time. Allah Hafiz.